It almost feels, though, like we've been around Trump and around the madness that happens in the Trump world, to put it lightly, for years now, that some of this loses its impact. As you say, if this thing were to happen in Australia to a politician here ahead of an election, it would be an absolute bombshell. But for Trump, it just seems like, oh, it's another day in Trumpland.
Yeah, in Australia, in a normal universe, electoral universe, former President Trump will be a dead duck in the water, but he's not, because he is Donald Trump. They call him the Teflon man. I mean, he said, as you remember, way before he became president, when he was campaigning, I could take a gun and shoot it down, a street in Manhattan and kill someone, and I would still get elected. And that's proving true. So his mega base will never move from him. What he needs to worry about, whether it's issues like this, not to mention just the felonies, whether issues like this shuttle any part of his support and his base to another candidate, like former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who is the momentum candidate. She's still way behind President Trump, but right now the mojo's with her amongst the also-ran.
Yeah, and that has to be the key, whether this does start to have a corrosive impact on that middle of America that ultimately decide elections at the end of the day. If he gets to be in this contest against Joe Biden, as we expect, that does this peel away some of those suburban women, for example, which we know are critical in key swing states. Does this start to play on their mind as to whether they can vote for Trump again?
Well, you took the words out of my mouth, suburban women. That's where President Trump lost the last presidential election. It's educated suburban women. They don't like his tone. They don't like his tenor. They don't like his policies. And let's not forget, what will be an incredibly agitating issue in this presidential election will be the right to life. Pro-choice or right to life. Simply put, abortion. It is a Supreme Court supermajority that was stacked by the former president. If you remember, even in the dying days of his presidency, in the last weeks, he shoved through another nominee onto the Supreme Court bench, and they overturned women's right to choose an abortion or not. That will also be very energizing. So this is the last thing former President Trump needs. But I can assure you that his campaign will be rallying to use it as a plus to drive fundraising.
Oh, they certainly will.
And to drive further support. Absolutely. It's like his mugshot. There has never been a former president in the history of this nation who had to stand in a prison and have his mugshot taken, and then when off, I made tens of millions of dollars off it.